We've successfully gained access to the exterior of the base. It's time for Snake to live up to his name and stealthily make his way inside.
Huh? Whose footprints are these?
As you play through this game, I think it's important to remember the context of the time in which it was released.
A surveillance camera?
As far as I remember, footprints in and of themselves were largely considered a minute and unnecessary detail in 1998, but to have the AI actually acknowledge them and then proceed to follow them was truly a surreal experience. Of course, it has to be said that this portion of the game is the only time it can happen as far as I know, but it's still interesting. Now there are two ways that Snake can enter the base. One is behind the snoozing guard at the very front, but the other route, and the one we'll be taking, is a bit safer, although traveling to it is more dangerous. The camera changes are a wonderful touch for when you go in and out of hiding behind cover. While the Soliton radar is still the best way to find out if anyone is headed towards you, I find it much less pleasing to stare at a seemingly empty truck or the top of Snake's head. There was a pretty close call or two, but luckily we made it past both the guard and the security camera. Unfortunately, now we have to play another, albeit shorter, waiting game, because the guard on this balcony can be troublesome if you don't wait for him to turn his back to you. Especially with that sneeze. It's always that sneeze.
That base must have some kind of ventilation system to recirculate the air. There should be air ducts around there somewhere. They must need a lot of power to run the base. There's probably a diesel generator somewhere. And since generating electricity requires oxygen, there must be exhaust openings for that too. You're not gonna believe this, but they shot down the F-16s we were using as a diversion with a Hind D. Then we got a message from Liquid. He said if we try something like that again, he'll launch the nuke. Snake, hurry up and get in there. That Hind will be coming back soon.
Snake, this is McDonald Miller. It's been a long time.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Campbell told me about the situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you, so call me if you have any questions about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.80.
cell in the first floor basement.
What about the vent shaft cleaning?
They just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
First floor basement ventilation shaft.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also, keep your eye on that woman in the cell. Don't get careless now.
Woman in the cell?
Interestingly, if we had been detected in any capacity up to this point, those two guards would have talked about the possibility of an intruder with each other. But since we've been lucky, the cutscene ends after the mentioning of the woman in the cell. I hope I can eventually remember my 2-ration limit.
Use the elevator to change floors. There should be a cargo elevator that you can take down somewhere around there. Try to find it. For all intents and purposes, the game is played almost completely from a top-down perspective, meaning that most of the time it's very difficult to see much of the area you're currently in. The first-person view is an extremely useful feature that makes the game much less stressful to play. Torturously, you have to wait for the elevator to arrive.
Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA chief. He's the green dot. Hurry and rescue him.
I skipped that codec call only because it can be easily summarized as push the circle button to climb the ladder. Hopefully we won't be needing much ammunition considering our attempt at stealth, but it can never hurt to have some on hand should the need arise.
DARPA chief's signal is coming from somewhere in that area. Isn't there some place to drop down? Take a look around in first-person view mode.
Who's that?
I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
I'm the pawn they sent here to save your worthless butt.
Really? It's true. You don't look like one of them. In that case, hurry up and get me out of here.
Slow down. Don't worry. First, I want some information about the terrorists.
The terrorists?
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuke?
What are you talking about?
The terrorists are threatening the White House. They say if they don't accede to their demands, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
Sweet Jesus.
Is it possible?
It's possible. They could launch a nuke.
How do they plan to launch? I thought this place was just for keeping the dismantled warheads. They shouldn't have access to a missile.
What I'm about to tell you is classified information. Okay? We were conducting exercises with a new type of experimental weapon. A weapon that will change the world.
What?
A weapon with the ability to launch a nuclear attack from any place on the face of the Earth. A nuclear-equipped walking battle tank.
Metal Gear. It can't be.
You knew? Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. How did you know that?
We've had a couple of run-ins in the past. So that's the reason you were here at this disposal site?
Why else would I come to a godforsaken place like this?
I had heard the Metal Gear project was scrapped.
On the contrary, it's grown into a huge joint project between ArmsTech and ourselves. We were going to use this exercise as raw data, and then proceed to mass production. If it hadn't been for the revolution...
Revolution?
Rex has fallen into the hands of terrorists.
Rex?
Metal Gear Rex. The code name for the new Metal Gear prototype. They're probably already finished arming the warhead they plan to use with Rex. These guys are pros. They're all experienced in handling and equipping weapons.
Hey! Shut up in there, will ya?
But I thought that all nuclear warheads were equipped with safety measures. Some kind of detonation code that you have to input.
Oh, you mean PAL? Yes, of course, there is a PAL. It's set up so that you need to input 2 different passwords in order to launch the device.
There are 2 passwords?
Yes, Baker knows one, and I know one.
Baker? The president of ArmsTech?
That's right. Each of us needs to input our password, or there can be no launch. But they found out my password.
You talked?
Psycho Mantis can read people's minds. You can't resist.
Psycho Mantis?
One of the members of Foxhound. He has psychic powers.
This is bad.
It's just a matter of time before they get Baker's too.
If they find out Baker's password...
Yes, they'll be able to launch a nuke anytime. But there is a way to stop the launch.
What?
The card keys.
Card keys?
They were designed by ArmsTech, the system developers, as an emergency override. Even without the passwords, you can just insert the card keys and engage the safety lock.
And if I do that?
Yes. You can stop the launch.
That card key.
So where are the keys?
Baker should have them. Listen, you need 3 card keys. There are 3 different slots to put them in. You need to insert a card into each one of them.
Okay, 3 card keys. Do you know where they might be keeping Baker?
Somewhere in the 2nd floor basement.
2nd floor basement?
I heard the guards say they moved him to an area that has a lot of electronic jamming.
Any other clues?
Yes, they cemented over the entrances, but didn't have enough time to paint them. Why don't you look for the areas where the walls are a different color? Here, take this. It's my ID card. It'll open any level 1 security door. It's called a PAN card. It works together with your body's own electrical field.
Personal area network, huh?
It transmits data using the salts in your body as the transmission medium. As you approach the door's security devices, they'll read the data stored in the card.
And the doors will open automatically. Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the PAL, have you? From your bosses or anyone?
No.
Are you sure you haven't heard anything?
I just said no.
So does the White House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
That's their problem. It has nothing to do with my orders.
But what about the Pentagon?
Pentagon? What is it?
Hey, what happened?
Dead.
Naomi, the chief. What happened?
I don't know. It looked like a heart attack, but...
A heart attack? No.
Colonel, are you hiding something from me?
Absolutely not. Snake, you've got to understand. This op is security level red. You need the highest security clearance to get access to the complete file.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access to the file?
I told you, the Secretary of Defense is in operational control. I'm just here as your support. Snake, we don't have time to debate. Get out of there and find President Baker.
The DARPA chief. Poor man. He has a heart attack right after you save him. I'm getting a bad feeling about this, Snake. Maybe you should let me save your mission.
Soon we'll find out the cause of the strange noises that we just heard from outside the cell. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.